Hello, student. Today we are going to talk about SEM part 2. In the last class, we spent a lot of time talking about how the keywords rank can be determined. In today's class, we are focusing on other important parts, which is probably even more important to say, which is keywords. So as the business, you might have the question, what keywords to bid on? We will answer that question today. So the first thing I want to talk about is what is the rationale that keyword the user enters? Why the user entered a certain keyword, and then what information they get by entering that keyword. So let me give you the examples. Someone searched Texas, and other people search Round Rock, and also Round Rock restaurants. What kind of intentions that they have when they put these keywords? And then let me give you other examples as well. What about using the keyword coffee? And then what information they want to have when they enter the keywords coffee shop or just coffee shops near me. So the motivation behind each of these keywords can be very different. And although differences between the categories, users might have the different intention when they enter certain keywords. And this is Google's #1 task. They try to figure out the what information the user wants based on that keyword what user enters. That is what Google keep doing for 20 years, and they're still constantly changing the way to understand why users put that certain keywords to guess the what information that user wants. And then let me tell you history about this. In the past, Google does something called exact match. So they just focus the exact match, basically what the Google shows in the web page can be exactly matching with what the keyword that user type in. So I show you with the web page in the last class about the keyword. Then that's what the Google did in the past about the exact match. But now we go through something called the guessing user intent. So we are using this question by entering this keyword and what information the user wants and then what is the intent behind the keyword. That's the Google's main task these days. So let me give you an example. What is the user intent? So suppose there is a searcher who enters a keyword moving with time traveling phone booth. The someone enters this keyword in the search box. What is that intent? What information the user want to have? Probably the information about movie. That's the most likely the motivation that the user entered that keyword, and Google exactly shown that in here now. So it shows that what users want by the name of the movie and then also related pages. Let's think about it. When someone put the keyword with the Austin, what kind of intention they might have? Probably they just want to know a little bit more about Austin. And also some to check latest news, what's going on in Austin. And some people might have some plan to visit Austin. But what about the searcher put the keyword city, just city? Probably they are not interested in a certain city. So Google gets the intention and then give the result with the definition of the city by the dictionary and also general information about city in the Wikipedia. So kind of possible intention is they just want to know about what is the city. If the Google gives more the personalized information, then they might likely to give some information about the cities nearby you. But what about the person search about the keyword coffee? Probably they're interested in just looking for the coffee shops nearby them, or just want to buy some coffee, or learn to buy some of the place to buy coffee, or just want to have some of the images of coffee, or just have the more general information about coffee. This result page shows based on what Google gets about the user's intention. So let's get back to the original question. What keywords should business bid on? It is a very important question, but actually the answer is pretty simple. The business should bid on the keywords that indicates the user's intents in line with their business goals. So when I say the strong indication, it should be like 80% of times that when they search about the keywords, they actually want some of the activities related to your business. So let me give you one example. Let's say you're a business who runs a coffee shop, And then when users search about the coffee shop, then your goal is increase sales. So probably you want to be these keywords. And then also, what are those potential keywords? Those who plan to buy coffee might have the purchase intent, so you only want the people wanting to buy coffee to see your ad. So what kind of keywords that you can have? Probably coffee near me, or if you live in the Round Rock, coffee Round Rock, or the coffee shops, or the best coffee place. So compared to this more the general keywords like kind of coffee beans, or just Round Rock, those kind of more the specific keywords reflect the user's intent. So now we know that the business should have the keywords that reflect the user's intention as well as meet their business goals. So at the same time, I want you to have this overarching goal in your mind when you're doing SEM, because you pay to show your ads. So each time the user clicks on your ads, then you should pay, and then Google will have some money. So it can be high as the $600, like we just talked about the last class. So the overarching goal for any SEM campaign is to minimize the cost and then maximize return. It's really the cost and benefit analysis. Most businesses only bid on fewer popular keywords, which means the competitions are very high. As we talked about last week, the number of bidders for keywords increases, you will end up entering a super competitive setting. And also the price you will pay will increases. So my advice is don't do this. They are often the super competitive keywords. Super competitive means that they're very expensive. Each click maybe can pass through them more than $5, and then most business cannot afford that. So that is the one reason why we should avoid bidding on those keywords. Another important reason is there are actually better choices. So by focusing on those keywords, you will probably ignore other better choices and even the potential customers are searching for. I'm specifically talking about these keywords, which is long-tail keywords. So bid on long-tail keywords. That is what the most business should actually be done. So we will spend more time talking about this keyword. Simply say, when people say long-tail keywords, they often have the 4+ words and then they're very specific. So let me give you an example. Suppose you are the company who run the life insurance. Instead of the bidding on the common choice or the top offer choice like insurance or life insurance, but consider this long tail keywords such as affordable life insurance for seniors. This is one of the long tail keywords example. Another example is if a company who sells vitamin capsules online on their website, instead of the bidding on the keyword the vitamin capsules, you can use also long tail keywords such as older vitamin D capsules online. That's another example. And another example can be if you're run the pizza shop, rather than bidding on the pizza delivery or pizza, you can also consider long tail keywords such as pizza delivery Midtown, New York City. Last one, if you're at a law company, instead of bidding on the lawyer or law, you can also bid on the car accident lawyer in Denver. So we're talking about the user's intent, and then I believe a lot of you can tell that the user's intent are much more likely to be in line with your business goal. So the person who's searching these keywords is probably specifically looking for certain life insurance and also certain type of services. So these are the examples for that. So one thing that I'd like to mention is the number of the words increases, then we are moving to the high competition to the low competition, which means also low cost for the business. At the same time, we are more likely to match the searcher intent with our business goal. The conversion rate also can become higher. It's because the higher number of words in the keywords are much more highly targeted than the short popular keywords. So that's the two advantages that you can have in the long tail keywords. At the same time, as we more likely to match the searcher's intent with our business goal, the conversion rates can become higher. It's because the higher number of words in the keywords are much more highly targeted than the short popular keywords. So that's the two advantages of the long-tail keywords. But there's some potential issues with the long-tail keywords. Of course, they are less popular and then therefore less competitive. But would it be the problem for the long-tail keywords? The search volume for the long-tail keywords can be low, but for example, a keyword for the life insurance, the keyword may have the 1 million search per month, but if you're talking about the specific long-tail keyword, affordable life insurance for senior, maybe they are just talking about kind of 1,000 searchers per month. So that's a 1,000 times difference. But can it be a reason that we should not use the long-tail keyword? So first, I want you to be aware, although you get the more volumes with the life insurance, maybe even more kind of 80% of the searchers, they need the additional search to get what they really want with the keyword with the life insurance. So they're potentially more likely uninteresting searchers for your business, and then they may dry up and then make you cost to pay for your ad, but they do not bring your profits. So it's not really cost effective for you to bid on those keywords just for it has high volume. You only want a high quality volume. By bidding on the long tail keywords, we can maintain high quality. With general keywords, the quality can be go down. There are another more convincing reason why you still bid on long tail keyword. It's better to call a strategy that you can compensate to low volume associated with the long tail keywords. What that strategy is to compensate low search volume, bid on more keywords. Instead of just bidding on the one long tail keyword, you can bid on maybe just 100 of them. So here are some examples. So if you are bidding on just life insurance, maybe you can also be affordable to senior life insurance. That's life insurance over 30 or 60, life insurance for senior over 75. So you can easily diversify that. And then there are many different variations. Individually, each of keywords, that long tail keyword, might have the lower volume, but those lower volume can be compensated by adding up all this long tail keywords. So you can achieve also high search volume. By doing this, you can maintain the highly targeted quality of the long tail keywords without getting into too much pay with the keywords. So it's very good strategy. What I'm going to tell you about here, the SEM keyword responses. If you follow what I'm telling you, this step by step, you can immediately understand for everything what I have told you. So just follow what I'm having here. So this is the process for you to generate a list of the keywords for your business. Step one, of course, we need to have a long list of keywords for your business. So we can do that either by self-generated or using external tools. In general, there are two ways that you can generate this initial list of keywords. First, the self-generated, and the other way is that use external tools. We will get into both. As I mentioned last week, just wanted to highlight again, when I say keywords, the keyword is not necessarily just single word. It can be a phrase or sentences, but simply just say all of them are keywords. So that's actually just also related to your homework. So what will you do is to pick a business, and it could be your digital marketing consulting paper with COBA website, or it could be any business that you love to work as your homework. So the only requirement is that business should have their own official website to make the bring somewhere after your clicks. So I want you to go through this process with me, and then to do this, it is not required, but I recommend you to also do with this COBA website for your final paper. The good thing about that is because you need to ultimately make some recommendation for your paper at the end. So if you're doing this exercise for your final paper, maybe you can use this as a recommendation. And that can actually, for you, help you to complete some parts of your final paper. If you haven't read about your final paper instructions, go to your module and then read about the instructions. So that's the good thing about that. But again, it's not the requirement. You can choose any business you like. So let me give you examples with one restaurant. I live in Round Rock, and this is one of the restaurants close to me. And I oftentimes make the delivery from this restaurant. So I will use this as our class example. So this is what I will do for class demonstration purpose. I'm generating different keywords for this restaurant. First thing, I think everyone should be able to generate 3 different keywords. I will assume everyone has 3 different keywords for your business. And next, I'm going to show you a more systemic way of how you can generate keywords for your business. Maybe you have some keywords that you already generated, which is fine. But the appealing part of this process is that you can generate hundreds of keywords. So that I want you to do this, create 3 different categories of words. The first category is that something called general category. So those will be the words that are related to the business in general. If it's a restaurant, then you can use these general keywords like eat, food, meal, lunch, dinner. So some general keywords related to restaurants. If you cannot have many, that's fine too. Now let's move on. The secondary category of the word is called specific category. So those will be the words that is apply or related to specific product or services that the business offers. For example, in this case, they have noodles, dumplings, wonton, or fried rice or orange chicken. So there are many options. Basically, just find their menu and then use the words describe what you are provided. You can easily come up with the 5 or 10 different specific categories. That's the second one. Now let's move on to the third categories. The most important one is something called the characteristic category. So those will be the words that describe the characteristics of your business or the product or services. Other times, those will be desired characteristics. For example, if it is a high-end restaurant, maybe you can use the keywords like luxury or expensive. In that case, expensive actually means that you're high-end. And then if you're targeting the late night delivery or just kind of delivery food, then late night or delivery is also a good word that describes your business. And also you can expand your keywords by using synonyms. So you can search in the online dictionary and then mix with this word. So that's about the self-generation method. So there are different categories and then combine those categories and then create the long-tail keywords. Another way is using external tools. So each of the keywords that you have the stage, you can easily make 10 keywords. One simple thing is, and also this is a great tool, that's something offered by Google. So Google suggests the autofill result. When you search in the Google, then as you type in the search box, the Google will make suggestions about your potential keywords for your searching. For example, when you type food in the search box, then they suggest some of the keywords in the list here, kind of food near me or food from the Round Rock. So I live in Round Rock, so Google thought, oh, maybe she's looking for food around the Round Rock, so they suggest this list. One thing I really want to highlight here is when you do this way, always make your Google as private mode so that the suggested results don't apply to you. If you do not do this, Google will try to use all of your past information about you, such as gender, your education, hobbies, and also your online activities, and they suggest you that some keywords are based on some of the customized information. So with that case, most of the suggested results is just like for you. However, when you're doing this business, those keywords should be appealing to your average customer. So you might not want to have suggestion based on your information. So that's why I suggest you do the private mode. Another way is that you can search a keyword and then go to the bottom. So when you search some of the keywords and then when you scroll down to the bottom, there are some of the boxes that Google suggests keywords. So again, here I enter the keywords restaurants, and then Google immediately suggests me 8 different keywords. So the one more thing, if you think this is useful, you can add it in your list of keywords. Another way is to use some external tools. Here are some examples. In the instructions for this homework, I listed 5 or 10 websites where you can use to extend your list. So this will be similar to what you can do with Google. So click one of this website, for example, and then enter the keywords that you created as the first step. Then for each keyword, they will give you some similar keywords that you can use on. For example, I search the keyword restaurant near me here, and they suggest me some keywords that I can bid on, like restaurants open near me, best restaurants near me, Italian restaurants near me. Among those suggestions, if you think some of the keywords are useful, then you can just use it. So just using external tools to expand your list for each keyword should be probably, you can get 10 or different ideas. If you have the 10 beginning, then you can combine with this with even the 100 words. Another tool is Google Ads, but this is not something I recommend. This is the easy way but the bad option. Two final thoughts. The first final thought, you can also consider bidding on the keywords that include the brand name or product name of your competitors. So for example, in this case, this furniture store called City Furniture is bidding on the competitor's brand name, which is the King's Furniture. Exam question, why business does this? Yes, because it's a great opportunity for you to steal customers from your competitors, especially that customer is searching that keyword, then they have a pretty high intention of the purchasing that certain product or using the certain services. So like the fact that if you are searching some specifically for the furniture stores, it means that probably they just want to find a website, the furniture store, and then also buy some furniture. So it is very strong indication of the purchase intent. So it is good idea to bid on the keywords so they can steal the customers from their competitors. And that's my final thought. The other thought is, it is also makes sense for you to consider keyword that include your company name or the brand name. So let me show you what actually happens. So in this case, King's Furniture bid on their own brand name. So what if they don't bid on their own brand name or company name? Their competitor, like here, City Furniture, will become the #1 result. And then they have the risk of losing their customers to their competitors. And that's why this makes sense. That's the rule of thumb. Another example, Big Skinny case. Big Skinny also bid on their own brand name. So you can see the top result from the Big Skinny official website here. I can tell you this is not a very good idea for Big Skinny to bid on their own keyword in this case. Why? Why does this make sense for the furniture case, but not in the Big Skinny case? So what is the rule of thumb for a business to make decisions whether they should bid on their own product or the brand name or their trademarks? What is that? So the decision where you should bid on your own brand name depends on where you're ranked without bidding. So here, that's why Big Skinny should not bid on their own brand name. So what if Big Skinny do not bid on their own keywords? Maybe this will not appear, but this will appear as the first result, which is organic search results. But with this case, since they just bid on this keywords, everyone just end up clicking the first site rather than just your organic search result, which is basically they are saying, but customers will click the first one and then make you pay to Google. If you do not have this one, then other traffic will get anyway. So it doesn't make sense that Big Skinny to bid on their own brand name. They will be ranked #1 in anyway. So keep in mind whether you should bid on your own brand name or not. It depends on your rank of the search result without bidding. So this is something we talked about in the last class. There's 4 different types of keyword match type. So now for each 100 keywords, you can actually have 4 different keywords that has the match types, which means that you can turn them into 4 different match types. So remember that you can have the exact match, phrase match, broad match modifier, broad match. So those will be considered as the different keywords. So use different match options. For the sake of homework, you'll be fine if you just have the 20 different keywords for you to complete the homework, but you can easily go over more than 100 keywords. So now we have a list of potential keywords that you can bid on for a business. The next step is that you need to get data of those keywords and then make decisions of what you want to keep as the keyword and then what keywords you want to eliminate. We can make the decisions based on the data that Google provided. So this is actually something you can see which the Google provides. I will show you how you can get this data later. Basically, you enter the list of your keywords and then submit it to Google, then Google will show you some numbers. There's not much thing to do with this platform. Google will help you to make decisions whether you should bid on the certain keywords or you need to eliminate it. The first column is something called average monthly search. This is about the research volume. So how many people have to search this keywords? This is a keyword in the past month. So here you can see a number in a range. Google doesn't want to share the exact number with you, so it just gives you some range. And this is the average monthly search. Google's definition of this is how many people have searched of that keyword. The other thing that you can get data is competitions. So basically tell you how many other people bidding on the same keyword. So you can see that whether its competition is high or low or moderate. High competition meaning is there are many other people bid on the same keyword. Another important thing is also estimated CPC. So how much that you will eventually pay. So Google actually give you a range, a low range or a high range. This is what advertisers historically pay for this keyword. So here the low range is 1.48 and the high range is the $8.74. Why Google give you these two numbers? Google give you a range between these numbers, and as an advertiser, what factor determines how much you would actually pay? We have talked about in the last class. The hint is, so what determines your ad rank score? Yes, that's right, ad quality score. So if you have the highest quality score, then you're more likely to pay with the low range cost. But if you have the low ad quality score, then you're more close to pay the high range of the cost. So if you have a high quality, I can see the number difference between here two ranges. So again, ad quality matter. And I think this is the very obvious what is the SEM sweet spot. So I think this is very obvious what SEM sweet spot. So you should look for the keywords with the high search volume, and then the higher the better. And then look for the keywords with the low bids, both low and then high range with the ad quality. So you want a low range because that means that you are paying less. And also you want to look for the keywords with the low competition that influences the chance of your ad to be displayed to the users, and also how much you will pay. So those will be what keywords should be for. If you find a keyword that has all that, which is high volume, low bid, low competition, that's like the best case scenario to navigate to find those keywords. But this is the case that to make decisions depending on your business specific situations or your business goals. If your budget is constrained, then probably you want to prioritize. But if you do not have any budget constraints, maybe you will go for the highest reach. That means that the keywords have the high search volume. But still, try to look for the keywords that matches at least just one or maybe two with the sweet spot conditions. If you cannot find the keyword with the two conditions, then just go with one. Again, this depends on the specific business situation or goals. So recently, Google provided some additional information of the keywords. 3 months change and the year-over-year change. So this tells you where your search volume compared to the last year, same month, whether it's increase or decrease. And this tells you whether the 3 months change in search trends by comparing the latest months of the data with the data from the 2 months prior. So for example, if the latest month is July, the July data would be compared to May and then to show the change in the search volume over 3 months. So now Google also give you something called the competition index. and it's the number ranging from 1 to 100. So previously, they only show the competition with the low, moderate, high. But with this, you can have the number values. As you can see here, all of the competition is pretty low, but you can see which keyword had the highest. Moreover, this keyword does not have any data, but we can see that competition index is 0, which means that no one bet on this keyword, which is very good for your business. So again, SEM sweet spot, high search volume, low bet, low competition, and you also want the keywords from the volume increases with the 3 months and also a year ago. But also you can eliminate the opposite. Eliminate low search volume, high cost, overly competitive and volumes, and it matches all of them. If it's match all of them, just let's get rid of it. It doesn't make sense to keep that keyword. If it matches with a 3, probably you can get rid of it. If it matches with 2, you can think of it, but it all depends on how you prioritize your business goals and specific situation. So at this point, you should decide along initial keywords, what will be the ones, and then which one you will eventually bid on based on the data you have from Google. So for example, in my case, with the best age of food, it had very low search volume and also low competition, which is good. But it have the same for every single keyword, and at the same time I need to pay high estimated cost, so I'm just going to get rid of this keyword. And we are basically doing this for your homework too. So you create the initial list of keywords, maybe around 50 or 100, and then you decide to base on the data you have, and then what are those ones to keep, and then or what else you can eliminate it. So I want you to provide some of the reasons for your decisions. So this is basically your this week homework. In reality, there's something additional thing that you can do. So once you decide that what keywords that you bet on, you launch them, then that is not the end. You want to constantly track the performance of the keywords that you bet on and then update the keywords based on the performance. So get rid of the low performance ones. So for example, if the keywords have the low conversion rates, then you can get rid of them. At the same time, we don't want to do it too frequently. A weekly basis is too often, maybe once in a month or once in a couple months. So some people, especially who do this the first time, they just try to check it every day. And then they say, oh, this keyword does not have the good conversion rate, and then get rid of them. But actually, that's not a good strategy. You can constantly check the performance, but you don't have to do it every single minute. So you don't have to do this with the homework trail because you're not actually running the campaign. But in reality, this is also a very important part, and it's one of the most appealing features of the SEM. You can have very accurate measures of each keywords that you can bet on, and then you can evaluate the performance. Now I'm here to show you how you can get the data from the keywords that you generated. So let's get into Google Ads, and then I will show you how you can get the data that I show you. First, click on this website. Once you go to this website, and then you need to sign in. What I want you to do as a first step is create an account. So once you go to the website and then try to sign in, do not touch any of this part, but click this bottom. So switch to the expert mode, and then the next page, this is what you will see, and click here. So do not touch any of this, and then click here, create an account without a campaign. Since we are just practice this Google Ads, but we will not run any campaign, so click this part. And then once you go to the next page, click this part that explore your account. Then you're ready to what we discussed before. So once you sign in, click Tools and Setting, and then click Keyword Planner. Then you will enter this site. and then click this section. And in this stage, you need to have the list of keywords that you should put up. So I already give you my examples of the keywords. So I just basically copy and paste it with this Chinese restaurant. And then click Get Started. Then you will basically see all the information that I explained in the lecture. The average monthly searches, 3 months, and then year-over-year change, competitions, the cost of range that you will have, low range, and then high range, and then competition index. Some of you might not see this competition index. In that case, click column, and then click modify columns. And then here you should check this competition index value. Those who cannot see this competition index, probably you do not have this checked. So please check this one and then click apply. Then you will see this competition index. And this is not the mandatory, but you can play even with this filter. Those of you have your own business, probably you just run the business for kind of local business. So in that case, you can change it rather than with the nationwide. You can just choose like kind of certain location. My example is the restaurant in the Round-Rock, so I will click the Round-Rock. Then you can just click on it and then you can save. So you can play in this way. And also, you can also adjust the time range, whether it's kind of 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, that is on your choice. But this is not mandatory, not required. Just I give you the additional information what you can do with this. So once you generate this data, after you have the list of the keywords that I provide you in the Excel file, choose and then submit it. What is your final keywords that you would like to bet on? And then also choose 5 keywords that you want to eliminate. But your decisions should be based on what the data you have with it. So do not copy and paste my keywords, generate your own keywords, and then do this work. And then when you make the decisions, do not use this competition, low, high, moderate. Use this competition index number and then give me the value when you justify your decision. So basically, this is for your homework, and this is about the search engine marketing. Thank you for watching.